Alright guys, happy Tuesday. Our workout today is going to be a little bit on the longer side. So yesterday you guys had some intervals, a little bit higher intensity. Today is going to be more about kind of finding that steady pace throughout the workout. It's going to start with an 800-meter run into 70 double unders, 60 alternating pistols, 50 handstand push-ups, kipping or strict, 60 pistols, 70 double unders, and then finishing out with that 800-meter run. So a little bit of running today, 140 double unders, 120 pistols overall, and 50 handstand push-ups. We'll run through each movement just so you guys have a visual on what it should look like. We'll go through some scaling options for the pistols and the handstand push-ups, and then we'll turn it over to you guys. So first things first, for our double unders, I'll have Manny. Hopefully he's been practicing his double unders, right? We want those elbows in nice and close. Shoulders are relaxed. He's just going to use those wrists to turn the rope over. As he goes, he's staying up on the balls of his feet, so heels don't really touch the floor. Just in a nice, relaxed position. If you guys can actually hear that rope, it doesn't really change, right? A lot of times when we're coaching you guys, we'll hear that rope start to really pick up. That's when our timing gets out of whack, and you guys will lead that trip, or you get those nice little whip marks on your arms. As soon as he's done with his double unders, we're going into those 60 pistols or a single-legged squat. So position-wise, he's going to stay it's going to be a little bit different than our normal squat. He's going to be a little bit more forward, kind of staying more on the balls of his feet, a little bit more balanced towards the front, but crease of the hip is still going to be below the knee. He can reach and grab that other foot for some stability or for some balance. He's going to stand all the way up, and then he can plant that foot to switch legs. Just shows a couple quick reps, coach. Cool. So a lot of times when we struggle with pistols, it's either a mobility thing. We don't have it in the ankles or the hips, right? So we kind of stay a little bit more upright, or we go too much onto our toes. So some of you guys might be okay with putting a plate underneath the heel, so you're a little bit more elevated, putting your ankle in a better position. Otherwise, we can go with a single leg split squat. So ideally, we would elevate that back foot. You'll step slightly out in front. You're going to squat down by breaking at the knee, letting your back knee tap the floor, and then standing back up. So you have that back leg there for a little leverage to keep you, balanced. Chest is going to be much more upright than it would be in our normal pistol, but we are doing our best to isolate one leg. For these, if you're going to do this variation, it's not alternating. I would just do 30 on one side and then 30 on the other to keep things even, because switching in and out of that position is really going to cost you guys some time. All right, so that will be our scale for today. Otherwise, if you don't have access to doing something with an elevation, just do it as a split squat stance. Can you just show us that? So same setup, you're just going straight down, straight up, same deal. From there, he's going to go into a handstand push-up. So Manny insisted on doing this to a post.
I call them stripper handstand push-ups.
So they're stripper handstand push-ups. I'm not really sure where he's going with this, but he's going to start with those arms extended, so elbows locked out. Keeping his chin neutral, he's going to let the top of his head make contact with the floor, and he can press right back out. I do want to see when he's in that bottom position that his hands and head aren't directly in line, so he should be able to see the hands out of the corner of his eyes, slightly out in front, right? Elbow is stacked right over the wrist, and he's engaging his triceps and his shoulders as he presses back up. Good, and relax. If you are going to kip, don't do it to a post, don't do the stripper one because your feet will have nowhere to go. Do it on a wall or something sturdy that you guys can support on. Otherwise, our scale for today is going to be our L push-up or our box push-up. So whatever you guys have to stack up. Feet back, you can either plant the knees, which would make it a little bit easier. Manny's going to show it from a pike variation though for today, since we is on a lower target. Right, we're trying to get those hips stacked over the shoulders. He's going to let his head come slightly out in front of his hands, that same position we saw on the stripper handstand push-up. Chin stays in one spot, and as he presses back, I want him driving his nose back towards the box, just like we're going through that lockout position if you're doing any sort of overhead press. Don't sleep on those. They are tricky. I think Manny did 6 there, and he already had to take a break without me saying anything. Once you finish your handstand push-ups, you're going back up the ladder, so 60 pistols or alternating pistols, or we're going with our split squat variation, 70 double unders, and then finishing out with that half-mile run. Long workout today, pace it accordingly. Definitely on the gymnastic stuff in this little cluster. break them up early, right? If you know that you struggle with handstand push-ups, don't try and just do a max set right out of the gates. Kind of have some sort of rep scheme in mind to help give yourself the best score for the day. If you guys have any questions, reach out to your coaches separately. Let us know your scores on SugarWOD, Facebook, check in with us, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.